This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You are what you watch. Hello, my name is Harrington Wadko. Welcome to the program. Tonight's topic is called misinformation. Now, what exactly is this all about? We've got information coming out of media, tri-media, be it for the newspapers, television, or radio. With so much information, we're bombarded daily, even on social internet. The problem is, it becomes misinformation when the information is not consistent. Let me give you an example. The DOTC, together with its head, goes out and says, well, all the plates are all available, all the car plates. Miski saan ka pumunta, ang problema yung mga dealer ng mga sasakyan. And after he starts talking, what happens? Everyone starts calling the radio station and whatnot, complaining they have not received their car plates for more than 6 months to a year. Then you have the driver's licenses. Now they issue temporary driver's licenses. And the DOT again will say through the LTO, Land Transport the Land Transport, and say that the licenses, well, alam mo, wala kaming kontrata. Pero we're doing our very best. Pero may temporary naman license, driver's license. The problem is, how can government deal with a supplier that has no contract? So government is saying with one word, everything is well, and then the people are complaining it's not. But is this not the same with the issue this weekend with Yolanda? The government comes out on TV, says everything's well and done. Of course, the president doesn't want to go down Tacloban, but that's another issue. We're not talking about Marcos. We're talking about the devastation. Nevertheless, Soliman and everybody comes out saying that they're doing everything they've succeeded. And yet you see the people crying on television, see them complaining, and everyone's complaining. What exactly is the truth? It's the same thing again with the airports. Again, the DOTC. Be it for the air conditioning, the poor management. How about the MRT, the transportation that is waiting for death? We know it's a disaster waiting to happen, but I think we can get past that. After all, it's already gone over the rails. It's waiting for death to occur. Then we've got the issues with China, with our president saying everything's harmonious and we're going forward and whatnot. And yet we have the issues where the Chinese start coming out with statements and social media is up in arms. What's going on with our country? Have we been sold? Then we've got the issue with the Bangsamoro. It's the same thing. They're all coming out on TV saying everything's well and good, and in fact it needs 160 billion, if not more, to make it happen. And yet you have the Council of Elders and retired Supreme Court justices and academicians saying it's against the Constitution. What is the truth? What is the information? When information is not consistent, it becomes misinformation. And what happens when you have misinformation? Without a doubt, a very unstable and unsustainable direction government will take. Eventually, government will fail. If this being the case, you and I and the rest of the country will suffer collateral damage. So what is the truth? How do we understand what's going on? And how do we stay away from being duped? Ladies and gentlemen, with us, we have a veteran political analyst with us tonight. You've seen him in this show many, many times before. and he's figured in media many, many, many times before. We have Pastor Boy Saicon. Hi, Boy. Thank you very much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Let's talk about this issue na muna. Unahin na muna natin itong issue with Binay. Kasi, alam mo, it's nakakarindi na. It's on TV all the time. It's obviously not in aid of legislation. It's obviously the Spanish Inquisition all over again. Pero media refuses to let go. Pag walang media, kaya may, ano pa yan, may hearing, baka wala na, no?
It has gone to a certain level na para ang lagay nga dyan, it's now sounding like a broken record.
I agree with you.
Okay, now, no matter how the presentation is made by that subcommittee, no, that they are not really addressing the issue of legislation, but rather litigation. And when you attack the person and not the act, it becomes now a personality political issue rather than acts that the Senate should be known to enact and create the necessary legal framework for this not to happen again. But what do you see? You see the same thing all over again. Not only now, but in the past 30 years. Did any of these actions of Blue Ribbon investigation stop corruption in the country? It never did.
But you realize, kailangan natin ng Blue Ribbon, miski pa paano. It's a traditional committee within the Senate that is formed to go after people of interest, so to speak.
Tama ka doon, Hari, but it's the conduct nga eh. The conduct,
Mali.
the conduct must be done within the framework of, as I said, legislation. No, but ang nangyayari, yung nag-iimbestiga, may preconceived na kagad silang prosecutorial habit eh.
Mr. Saicon, why is it being allowed when it is so obvious? You're not the only one airing this. Nasa dyaryo na nga yan, ang dami nagsusulat. Lumabas na sa television, maraming mga komentarista, sinasabi, Inquisition na nga yan. Why are they still allowed to do this? How come they're getting away with it? The three
You have to look
horsemen.
at the bigger picture eh. You have to look at the bigger picture here. If you will look at the composition of the panel of the subcommittee, it's made up mostly of nationalista members.
Yes.
Okay? And then the chairman used to be with UNA, but
Nag-break
now
away.
nag-break away, now with administration.
Mhm.
Okay. Hindi mo nga pwedeng makita na Liberal Party is the one orchestrating this.
So,
no?
ang misinformation dyan is, Malacanang says it's hands off.
Oo.
But, in reality, sila ang diktador dyan.
Aba, it is always the privilege of those in power to dictate the terms and conditions of any investigation. Parang katulad nung ginawa nila kay Villar din.
Inubos nila si Villar.
Nung gumagawa sa because Villar was rating very high
Sa C3.
on the presidential ambition niya. Dinurog din, on whose order. Okay, at the time. So, ang
So you're saying
tao,
not so political strategy.
naghahanap ang tao nung maididemanda mo sila at tapos mapoprosecute sila. Yun ang hinahanap ng tao eh. Dito ang nangyayari, sinisira mo lang sa mata ng publiko, tapos bahala na kayo.
But, so, boto ka sa sinabi ni Toby Chanco, huwag ka haharap dyan.
Abay,
Kasi-
bakit ka harap nga doon sa meron ng...
Dalawa sila, si Remulla naman. Sinasabi ni Remulla, ni Gilbert, hindi, humarap ka dyan. Sila, parang naguguluhan si Binay.
Ang sa akin, as when the system is already wrong, don't be part of what is wrong.
Don't flame the fire.
Dahil bakit? Alam mo nang mali, pumunta ka pa doon.
Palalalain mo lang.
Ngayon, but dapat hindi siya umiwas doon sa kaso.
Ba't yun ang gusto niya nga mangyari? Ituloy niya na sa ombudsman, ipasok niya na sa Sandigan Bayan.
Pero alam mo na, in aid nga of demolition, the purpose is to reduce his popularity rating. No, and at the same time, remember, no, hindi lang naman si Marrojas ang trying to catch up with him. But you have to understand that Binay's rating is higher than that of President Noynoy.
Yes,
In terms even of trust rating.
consistent.
So, paano sila makakakilos, makakamaniobra when their own leaders in the Liberal Party is trailing behind the highest presidential candidate among all of them?
So, it is like a chicken, a headless chicken running around, not knowing where it's going. If they're trying to bring Binay down, the problem is, sabay-sabay lahat sila bumagsak. Parang ganun ang nangyayari sa survey.
Alam mo kasi yung survey, when it is a commissioned survey, and this is commissioned by the Liberal Party, it can dictate the areas to be covered and towards what desired objective it needs to reach.
I believe that.
So, but I would rather believe in unsubscribed surveys. Okay? Those that are done independently of any of these interest groups.
Like this new one of Kasiple, Nubo.
Yes. So, because
Bakit?
why? It is more enlightening. People will tend to believe it rather than to doubt it. And that becomes not a misinformation because walang tinatawag na hidden.
Oh, well, yeah. It's, yeah, there
Hidden
is
hands working behind it, no?
kaya namamanipulate.
Kaya yung sinasabi mo kanina, lahat ng mga issues na yan, boil down to one statement. Napakagaganda ng kwento, mali ang kwenta.
Okay. We're going to have to take a short break. We'll be right back. I guess we're going to have to tackle the concept of surveys, whether it be used properly or simply a tool, ammunition into what we call the politics of today. We'll be right back.